Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm Richard.
And I'm John.
And John, today we are getting our revenge, or rather, the zombies of ZombieLand Saga are getting their revenge for Season 2, Episode 11.
They better.
Yes. So, let's talk about last episode, of course. Last episode, for the most part, was a kind of a flashback type episode where we kind of got to see basically what happened at EFS, why it was such a big failure. Pretty much it was Kotaro's fault. He didn't do any advertising or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so really out of like I think the stadium itself could hold like tens of thousands of people, but really only like maybe like 50 to 100 people actually showed up, like the hardcore fans actually showed up.
Yeah, because then they advertised the same day it was going to take place, so they didn't have much notice at all. It was only going to be those people who just drop what they're doing and go.
Yeah, so needless to say, we got to see why it was such a failure. And of course, they still put on the show or whatever, but even like the hardcore fans were just like, man, this is kind of embarrassing, you know?
It's pretty rough to watch.
Yeah, so we saw how they got into debt. Kotaro, we saw that he went off drinking, pretty much as we saw at the beginning of the season. And we also see them kind of, figuring out, okay, we could just got to get jobs, Again, that's what we know from the beginning of the season. So basically that was just kind of filling in those gaps, right? So fast forward to present day. Kotaro's like, now that the debt has been settled and all that stuff, now that Francis Show has gained their traction back, Kotaro's like, we're going back to EFS. And so the girls kind of freaking out a little bit, but, they're like, we're going to go back and we're going to get our revenge. So it is what it is. But later on, we also see Kotaro getting approached by the reporter, Okoba, and he basically just lays it down like, look, I know what you're doing here. I know that these girls are dead, and I don't appreciate the fact that you're making profit off of dead people, dead idols. So if you don't stop this, I'm going to write this article, and everybody's going to know what you're doing. And they're probably going to freak out over it. So, he basically just declared war, essentially. Yeah. But Kotaro was pretty much unfazed. He's like, you know what? We're going to be performing here next month. So, whatever. Do what you got to do. Yeah. So, then we see him, writing his article. And he's about ready to hit that send when the whole power went out. We see that apparently the entirety of Saga is getting hit by a typhoon, I think. And also an earthquake at the same time, I guess, because we saw their house kind of just collapse.
Or just sink into the ground.
Maybe as well, yeah. And yeah, that was kind of weird. So that was the last thing we saw. We're not really sure what happened, but it's probably going to be really bad. It's probably going to deter them, keep them from performing, potentially. So
maybe, yeah.
I guess we'll see. So let's go ahead and get started.
Is their house?
They're probably floating in sea in the ocean.
No, they didn't sail away, did they?
Maybe. That'd be kind of weird though, because
it's a really nice, sturdy house.
they should have sank. Maybe look out the window first. Okay.
Called it. I don't think houses float like that.
Or no, maybe it's just
it's got some land under it or something.
It's just flooding. Yeah, it's just. Or no, maybe it is adrift. Huh.
We won't die.
I mean, you're already dead, so. Their makeup isn't completely perfected either.
Yeah. Huh. Nope, too late.
Yeah.
Lost everything. What a way to start the morning.
Yeah, all their memories. That's true. I mean, they could. Oh yeah, that too.
Oh.
Also that. I mean, you could probably still fish it out, I'm sure.
Where's Ty?
Oh, right there on the left.
Oh. I just heard her kind of grumble. I was like, wait a second, where is she wandering around at?
Yeah, but their makeup is.
Yeah.
This is gonna be kind of
looking pretty pale.
Yeah. Oh, they could put a performance on here. Yeah.
Like a relief.
Yeah.
Presentation or concert or something. Of course she is. Of course.
She's getting food.
What? Nothing wrong with Kids are like, oh, that's totally cool and normal.
Yeah, no big deal. Which is why it's probably not going to matter, even if that dude does publish his stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a concert in here.
Yeah. Especially since I'm pretty sure the actual stadium itself probably got wrecked too, so we didn't actually see it, but
it's as big as a stadium. It could be.
I was gonna say, is that the stadium actually?
So 2 days later.
We just got to do what we got to do.
What are they doing?
Trying to survive. I'm surprised they're still.
He's just hanging around while he's floating.
But like they've been stuck in there for.
Really?
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah. Of course it would be that.
But they've been in there for like
at least 2 or 3 days.
Right. I'm surprised he actually. Is that him? I mean, I know his voice actor can actually sing, but the whole thing just kind of floated away. But the basement's still there.
It's pretty good. Then he sees the house.
Right. But it's probably already been salvaged, I'm sure, by now. That's
oh, the one racer.
Yeah.
Oh, the mask kit that she brought along. Or no, it was for dolls.
Yeah, it was for dolls. Yeah.
Maybe she can make some masks. Break it.
Oh, I think you might be onto something. Yeah, okay.
That's exactly how that works.
What? Okay. So... Okay, well... But they're really going to have to figure out something by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was special makeup.
Yeah, I mean, well, it kind of has to... Oh. Well.
Oh.
There goes that.
They're just going to ask them when they're going to start singing.
Yeah, we're pretending to be zombies. Or does it matter?
Nuh-uh. They're bitey.
Well, yeah.
What are you?
They're just hurt.
Nice.
Okay. Do you think from this point forward, do you think they'll go without their makeup? I mean, probably not all the time, but
I don't know. Maybe.
Of course, these are just kids, but there are parents there too. So.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm kind of surprised that they resolved this pretty quickly. Are you going to finally show up here, Kotaro? Are you going to make your appearance in front of them? Yes. Yeah, well, I was going to say that one time.
You know, for those couple months, but,
yeah.
You know.
Where is she at? My.
We'll see her at the concert.
Well, I figured we would see her here and that maybe she might step in to be like, oh no, like when their masks fell off or whatever. Interesting. So they do have some kind of history.
Okay.
What?
Hmm.
Okay.
He said, "I'm going to have it
I'm,
eternally."
I think he said, I'm going to have it eternally.
Huh.
Whatever that means. Well, John, that was quite the disaster, but it looks like the girls managed to work their way out of it. I mean, like, not just the natural disaster, but like the disaster of the makeup. Yeah. So, how do you feel about this episode?
Wow. You know, thinking about it for a little bit, I really liked it. I mean, it was a little bit different paced from maybe the other episodes, but overall, yeah, I'll even give it 2 thumbs up. I'll say that I really enjoyed this episode. Not really because it was fun or funny, but because it had really great moments with all of Franchichu and them kind of getting their revenge, kind of getting their, the setup for that by winning the hearts of the people, winning the hearts of the kids, especially, being able to be them true selves in front of everyone.
Potentially winning the heart of Okoba, too.
Yeah,
Okoba.
Like. Yeah. And, I just really think there was a lot about this episode I liked. I liked the moments between Kotaro and the girls. I kind of pointed out I liked how he was saying one special, like a message, and then he would flip to another girl as he was talking to them almost like one-on-one with each line.
Yeah.
I really liked that transition. That was just really, to me, that was great. But before I get too much into it, what were your thoughts? What did you think of it?
Yeah, same thing, definitely. I really enjoyed it. I mean, honestly, it was somewhat predictable. But even still, it was still just nice to see that, they, despite all the bad things that was going on, there was like a good payoff to come out of it. So yeah, they lost their home, but we got to see them interact with the people a lot more. Yes, their makeup fell off, and yes, the people saw them as zombies, but the kids kind of were just like, you guys aren't zombies, you guys are a friendship show, And so it's like a lot of heartwarming moments there, and even finally when Kotaro finally came in, there, like you said, he had that one-on-one moment with each one of them, and even with Sakura at the very end too. Like he really, we actually got to see. I don't even think they even really talked about it at this point. How I think we speculated that maybe there was some history between him and Sakura, but
maybe
because she died what was it, 10 years ago or something like that, or roughly.
Yeah, it wasn't too long back compared to the other ones.
It kind of just seemed like he might have been in the same age group as her, and so I don't know. Just having that little bit of so maybe this is correct. Maybe they do have something, even if she doesn't remember.
Yeah, that's true.
They still looks like they might have some history together. So I still kind of think he was one that was driving Truck Kun and was the one that hit her, but it could have just been too that they were classmates, and maybe he was just walking the same path and he saw the accident and he noticed that that her
she was holding the
she was holding the envelope or whatever it was, and maybe he was just like, she's done so much stuff for me. I want to do something for her, and I'm going to enact my saga zombie plan or whatever it was. So again, that's just speculation at this point. But
and really his relationship with the bartender who is immortal.
Yeah.
Who knows if maybe he was a descendant of the one from the flashback.
Keiichi, yeah.
Keiichi, yeah. and maybe they've kept in touch throughout every generation of his life, and he's like, the prophecy needs to be fulfilled now with you, and he's like, all right, I'll do it, you know, but I've got a different way to do it. We're gonna get some idols, we're gonna make this thing super popular, and he's probably like, this young generation,
right? So, now I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I can't make it to the Reiwa era.
Yeah, it is kind of. There are definitely some questions that need to be answered. Like, yeah, we know that there's the prophecy, but like, what exactly do they need to do? Like, what was Kotaro trying to do to, I guess, prevent disaster or whatever? I mean, we've already kind of got a little bit of a disaster right now, but like, what does that have to do with French show? Like, what? I mean, is it to make Saga popular? Is that what he's trying to do?
Well, he needs to take the idol group and work to help them heal all the hearts of Saga and bring them together.
I mean,
build up Saga, let the news report on it all throughout Japan.
Yeah.
Franchichu's image just goes out there and the heartwarming message. EFS blows up, they sell it out, there are people outside in the parking lot listening, and season finale, it's all wrapped up, taken care of, and then we go on season 3. We take over the world.
Right, I guess so. I mean, that actually was kind of my thing too. It's like, it does seem to be working out pretty well for them. They're probably going to go to EFS, as you said, probably going to be successful. But then, like, where is it going to go from here? Maybe Tokyo, and then maybe the world. I don't know. I mean, you could be right. It's hard to say right now.
I mean, we have seen some rivals, and that little kid, maybe he'll come back as an adult later in years and be like, all right, it's time to take you guys out, or, or something.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Well, we know
he did.
We know that, what was it, Iron Grill?
Oh, yeah, Iron Frill.
Iron Frill, yes. Iron Grill.
Oh.
Well, you mentioned rivals, so I was like, I mean, those would be, they're supposed to be the
Iron
top.
Chef.
They're supposed to be the top idols right now, right?
Okay, so once they conquer Saga, then they conquer the pop idol music industry.
Right.
I like
and then there'll be rivals between those two groups, and then, like I said, I don't know where it's going to go from here, but it's funny though for an idol anime like this is. I mean, I've never really watched a whole lot of idol animes, but like
me neither.
This one is actually pretty fascinating. I don't know if it's just the zombie aspect of it, or if it's just the characters, or whatever, the story, maybe all of it combined. But it's actually pretty interesting. So
and some of it's just the humor. It doesn't take itself super serious.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true too.
I mean, it does have serious, like serious as far as like heartwarming moments and sad moments, things like that. But for the most part, it's a comedy. And it also is an idol, anime as well. And I just don't think it plays up on that too much. It just blends it really well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So,
I mean, would you say this is probably one of your favorite, I guess, stories?
Almost every season it comes out. This has been like one I'm drawn to. I want to know what happens next. I want to know more about the girls. There's that level of mystery where I'm kept guessing like, well, what? She was in a biker gang?
Right.
Wait, what? She died at a young age and her dad, is out there.
Right.
I mean, all these different backstories are pretty interesting. They kind of, we still haven't got Ty's background, so we can't end the series until we figure out what is up with the legendary Ty.
Yeah, right.
So,
and honestly, Okuba, he knows of her, and he mentioned the only one that he couldn't figure out was number 5.
The one from Yugiri.
Yeah. He couldn't get information on her. I mean, obviously, because she's from the Meiji era, so of course he couldn't get information from her. But I mean, he at the very least he knows all the other girls' backgrounds, and so he knows Ty's background. We just don't know it. So,
imagine if he spun the article differently and actually said, the Franchichu is representing different pop idols of different ages. Let me tell you their story of who they're representing. And maybe kind of did it that way if he didn't go the, hey, I'm just going to expose you guys as zombies kind of route.
And the funny thing is too, like, even if he did expose them as zombies, like, as we saw in this episode, I'm not sure if anyone's really going to care at this point.
Yeah.
So, except for the people that are like, oh, zombies, we can exploit that. But otherwise, yeah, I don't.
The government steps in.
Right, yeah. The American government steps in. Oh, you can bring back people from the dead.
Well, we're Umbrella Corp. We would like to take a look at you.
Yeah, right. But anyways, but yeah, I have to say this is probably one of my more favorite stories. Like, this is just kind of like unexpectedly good, you know. And I remember like way back when we started this channel when you
were
first
just kind of reviewing it.
Yeah,
not really reacting.
When you first talked about it, because I wasn't even watching it at that time. You first talked about it. I was just like, wow, that sounds really interesting. So then, of course, that's when I started watching it too. And then it's been
maybe we should go back and react to season 1.
Would you guys like to see that?
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't remember a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
Of season
well, I guess it would be reacting.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I don't know if you guys want us to do that. Let us know down in the comments below. You know, we'll do it, or really just any other series, of course. I mean, but anyways, any other final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. Just really looking forward to the next episode.
Yes, very much so. All right, guys. So, what'd you think of this episode? And does Kotaro actually have it? Whatever it is, let us know down in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this reaction, subscribe. Hit that button down there. And hit that notification bell so that way you are notified every time we put out new content. And do us a favor, check out our Patreon. We do release these episodes full and uncut before we release them on YouTube. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next episode.